These 4 myths are holding you back on your personal development journey. Until these 4 myths are debunked, you will consistently struggle to improve yourself whilst on your journey. The last myth is the most crucial one to debunk, so make sure you watch the end of the video. Myth number 1. Self-improvement is a straight line of success. Now this here is the most, it's the biggest lie you'll ever hear. The reason why this is because self-improvement looks more like this and looks more like this than this line right here. So when most people start, they believe self-improvement and their journey looks like this line here. They believe they'll have a linear line of just straight growth. So on your journey, you will have many ups and downs. Your journey is not a linear line, but a positive graph which fluctuates. You will fail more than you, failure, look at me. You will fail more than you win, but those failures are also wins and lessons. So what I mean by this is that the majority of people think that self-improvement is just a straight line of success. Self-improvement just means, okay, you start today and by next year, you will see so much growth without seeing any fails. But the reason why I've said self-improvement is more of a positive graph which fluctuates rather than a straight linear graph of success is because when you look at this graph over here, even at this point, you are better than when you started. The whole point of self-improvement is that you will go through some ups 100% because it's not always going to be done. It can't always be done. You will go through some ups. However, you will also go through some downs. But the most important about these downs, the most important part about these failures is that these failures are where you learn. So let's say, for example, let's give it for example for even me. I was in e-commerce, I am in e-commerce, but I'm in e-commerce, and when I first started, me and my team, we experienced a lot of failures. A lot of our stores got suspended. But until our stores got suspended, we didn't learn a lot of ban evasion. We didn't learn a lot of tricks and tricks to not get suspended. But the thing about this is that until we failed, until we hit this failure, we did not learn. So the majority of lessons that you will learn whilst on your self-improvement journey or just in anything in life, everybody knows about this. The saying inside of going to the gym is that you must push past failure for you to actually achieve your goals. For you to be able to consistently bench 100 kg, you probably failed 100 kg a couple times. And if not, then you worked a couple times with a little bit weight lower to make sure that by the time you come, you've done enough preparation for you to be able to bench 100 kg. So the whole point is that in self-improvement, you will experience a lot of losses. 100% you experience lots of losses. But do not run away from those losses. Do not try and avoid that many losses. Because obviously, yes, nobody wants to fail. So there is truth behind avoiding losses. But the losses is where you learn. That breakup that you go through is painful. But that breakup is majority of the time a driving factor for you to become the best version of yourself. Me, I know that I went through a lot of emotional trauma when I was younger. I've seen a lot of girls leave and I've left a lot of girls. And the thing about these things is that after those situations, I became the best version of myself. Without those type of traumas, I would not have gotten that push that I necessarily needed. And the thing about these things is that essentially that was a loss in that point in time for me. I saw it as a loss, but technically it was a gain because I am where I am today because of those type of losses. So for your situation, do not run away from the losses. And if anything, no, don't regret the losses because the losses are what the lessons come from. You can't learn without going through something. I have a saying, not even I have a saying, but I've heard a saying that a lot of lessons, for a problem to be solved, there must first be a question asked. Firstly, or for that question to be asked, you must first understand what the problem is. You can't solve a problem without knowing what the problem is. So for there to be a lesson for you to learn from, there has to be something you have to learn from. But if you don't experience anything, you will not learn from anything. So the whole point is that even when you go through these losses are what will make you successful. These losses is what personal development is truly about. So why I say this is a myth because majority of people believe that self-improvement is a straight line of success. They may see somebody online who just started and then bang, out of nowhere after like 1 or 2 years, that person that let it up. But that person will never show you their losses. That person will never show you this phase over here. All you will see is this to eventually this. And then sometimes this, but this don't, all of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this looks better than this. But naturally, they still went through this. And the best part about this, and this is not even a lie, this is still better than this. But he still went down. Because you will go up. You have periods when you are up. Me and my team, we had periods when we was really, really up. But the whole point is that is where we learn. From then, we had to learn about money management. We had to learn about spending. We had to truly learn about business. It was a painful period, but we still had to learn about business because we was making a lot of money without actually understanding business. But now, we had to learn about business. I'm gonna have a video coming soon about my first year experience in business because there's a lot of lessons that I learned from there. But do not avoid failure. So the myth is self-improvement is a straight line of success. It is not. Self-improvement, you will see all the ups and will see all the downs. It's going to have both. Your journey will fluctuate. And the thing about self-improvement is that, as I said earlier with this graph over here, if you're new to the channel, you won't know that this graph is a staple to me. But the plateau of latent potential is basically saying that all of the hard work that you do is stored up in like a bank, and eventually, bang, it will come out. All of the hard work you've done, the times you've gone to the gym, suddenly out of nowhere, then you look at your physique and say your physique's crazy. All the times that you've put towards your business, whether you're a content creator, all of those videos you've created, man, you think they're all worth nothing, and then bang, you post that one extra video. Now, all of your videos are on 1 to 2,000 plus views, and one video is on 1 million views or something like that. Because eventually, all it takes is for one of them to go big, one thing to go through, and then bang, you've come at the plateau of latent potential. And there's the part here, which is the value of disappointment, where people believe that what they thought would happen is actually less than what actually happened. So they want to leave. So the whole point is that there is periods where it will look like there is no success. There is periods where you'll be down. But those periods are where the learning comes from. Those periods is where the motivation comes from. Because you will have to go through those periods for you to come up. I'm watching Peaky Blinders right now. I'm actually very behind in the series, yeah. But something I can link this towards is Tommy was going through something, and then he started to shovel the horse manure with Curly. If you don't know, if I want to show you, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But it's basically a rich guy is shoveling next to his worker, and the worker says to him, "Tommy, what are you doing?" But Tommy's like to him, "If I don't do this, I'll forget the reason why I do what I do," or something like that. Basically saying that if he doesn't continue to work through this loss, he will go to the level that Curly's at, and obviously he's the employer. So something like that is a loss. You'll see every single great person goes through losses, but through those losses, through those failures, that is where the true success is. So technically, it will look like a straight line of success. However, there will be losses, because even the losses, yeah, you can learn from them, but a loss is a loss. It looks successful ultimately, but a loss is a loss. So it's not a straight line of success. You'll go through the failures, but it's about how you view it. They're failures in bulk standards, so it's a myth. You will not go through a straight line of success. But that straight line of success will be a straight line of success because it will have failures inside of it. And the failures are technically part of your success story. Even Trump, for example, when he got shot, it was a failure, like a loss, because he got shot. However, it was for the better for himself, because something like that is a driving factor now in his campaign. It showed Trump's true you know the word, man. Create a word for that. But it showed how much he really cared for his country and how much he really cared for his people. So something like that, him getting shot, it was a loss that he got shot. However, it is now a win because of how many people are supporting him. That got him so much media coverage. Do you get what I mean? So it's not a straight line of success. There is so much positivity that will happen, but there is also so much negativity that will come from it. But it's about how you look at it, because you will take that and it will also be linked to success. However, personal development is not a straight line of success. Myth number 2, you need to catch up. You don't need to catch up. You don't need to catch up. I'll tell you that right here, right now, before I even start this. You don't need to catch up. You are in competition with no one. Self-improvement is against yourself. So the reason why I say this is because I've spoken about this in other videos, but the number one way for you to actually improve yourself is becoming self-aware. When you understand yourself, when you understand your wants, who you are, your aspirations, your goals, your dreams, all these things, it's coming from who you are. And you only understand who you are when you know who you are. So you have to become self-aware. Now, when you become self-aware, you instantly enter a terrain of you versus you. And what this means is that you're no longer trying to compete with the person to your right and the person to your left. You're trying to compete with yourself. So, for example, let's say your articulation. You're trying to improve the way you speak. You're not trying to compare yourself to somebody else and say, okay then, today this person spoke better English than me. No, you're trying to compare your speech to the way your speech was yesterday. You're trying to say, okay then, can I slow down my speech? Okay, I can slow down my speech, sure. But can I improve the tempo now? Because I don't want to speak slow 24/7. I want to keep a good tone, but also have a good level. Speed. There we go, speed. Can I keep a good speed with a good tone? So it's like that. But that you can't compare that to somebody else. You're not going to be competing with somebody else. You're going to be competing with the past version of yourself, the version who you are trying to defeat consistently. So the whole point of personal development is not you trying to be against somebody else. It's not you against the guy in the Bugatti. It's not you against the guy in the Ferrari. It's you against you yesterday. It's you against the past version of yourself. You are trying to be better than that person. There is nothing for you to catch up to because your goal is to be better than you yesterday. You are not trying to be better than the guy who started in a better situation than you did. And sure, I'm not someone who likes to have, okay, they started in better circumstances than I did. That's why they're doing. No. I don't really like that. However, it is true. There are some people who can get funded 10, 15, 100K to start their business. There are some people in those situations. We can cry about as much as we want, but it's just the truth. So because they're in that situation, you should not be comparing yourself to that person because you don't know the help that that person is receiving. So the only person you should be comparing yourself to is the past version of yourself. I made a video about this saying that it is an immeasurable variable. So you can't measure what this person started with. You can't measure if they are in the same situation you were, because no one is in the exact same situation. You can't measure that. So because you can't measure that, why compare it to that? The only thing you can actually measure is where you was then and where you are now. It's the only thing, because it is your body, it is your life. So you're not in a battle with anybody else. You're not competing with anybody else. You're trying to compete with yourself. Everyone has their time to shine. You just have to stay humble, consistent, and hungry for your turn. You can set goals to try and achieve, or milestones which you set, which may cause you to have to compete with someone else internally. However, ultimately, you are battling with yourself. So what I mean by this is that, sure, you can say, I want to try and get, let's say you are an athlete. You can say you want to try to do better than this person at this point in time or that person at this point in time. But ultimately, the number one person who you are going to be battling with is yourself. You're going to be battling with how tired you are today. Like today, I didn't really want to record a video. It's 32 degrees in the UK, and in my house it's probably 40 because I'm cooked up in here with lights there, lights behind me. However, I'm trying to battle with the past versions of myself. I'm trying to say, okay then, I need to be able to be better. I need to do better. I need to do more. I'd rather just sit here and watch Peaky Blinders for the whole night for the rest of this week because I'm trying to catch up. I'm gonna make a video about this because I'm loving it. But still, I have to do better than the past version of myself. If not, I'll just sit here and watch it for the whole entire time. So the whole point is that you can set goals and milestones which you want to be compared to somebody else, yes. But ultimately, the person who you will be in battle with is yourself. So self-improvement is not a journey of you trying to be better than anybody else. It's not a thing of you trying to catch up to anybody else. It is you against you. You're not trying to catch up to anybody else. You're not trying to get on the same level as anybody else. You're trying to do better than you did prior. Literally that. Next, myth number 3. Oh, I hear this so much. And the thing is, people start to say something different, which is now discipline is the key to success. And I believe that is also true. However, motivation is the key to success, discipline is the key to success. I think they're all missing the real factor, which is the key to success, which I'm going to make a video about, which is an identity shift is the key to success. So what I mean by this is that motivation can only do so much. And I've said this, I think I said it down here. Yes, cool. Let me read this first. So motivation only lasts so long, but your identity is with you. Your identity is you and is with you for all your time on earth. So to achieve success, you must become someone who is successful. So what I mean by this is that we become what we think about. And this is a reigning theory which I have throughout my whole entire channel. We become what we think about is basically we become what we think about. Whatever your mind can conceive, your mind can achieve. For you to first do something, you must be the person who can. No, for you to be something, you must be the person who can do it. So you have to put your mindset into the person who can do it. So what I mean by this is that you must first shift your identity into the person who can do it. And I know Charlie Morgan made a video about this, and I love that video. But he didn't really label the video about identity shift, but he basically just went through the video talking about an identity shift. So there's V1 and V2, which is version 1 of your identity and version 2 of your identity. And me and my friend had a great conversation about this part. V1 is basically you now, the version of you literally right now, the version of your identity which you can conceive. But then there's another version of you, version 2, which is the version which you want to be, the person who you strive to be like. And what this means is that both of those parts are actually your identity, but you want to be V2. You want to be the best version of yourself, which is the guy who goes to the gym, has the money, has the cars, has his beautiful wife, his lovely family, his business, all these things. That's the person you want to become. It's the identity which you can imagine. So you want to become that. But you are also stuck in the version of yourself right now. And the only way for version 2 of you to speak to version 1 of you is by making you have the desire to create goals. So your goals is basically you trying to live the life of the V2 version of your identity. That is basically it. So the whole point is that you are trying to fight to become that person. So why do I say motivation is not the key to success? That's the reason why I say this is because motivation, as I said, only lasts so long. That can only be with you for so long. But when you try and shift your identity, a consistent battle between V1 and V2, you trying to become that person, that is what will make you want to become successful. When you change your identity into your V2 version, you've become successful because you have put your mindset and your identity into the identity which you dreamed of becoming, which you dreamed of achieving, which is quote unquote success. The goal is not to be motivated, but to be a successful person. So you don't want to be motivated. You don't want to just be like, okay then, yeah, today I feel like I want to do it. Yes, today I want to do it. No, that's not who you want to be. You want to be the person who, even when they don't want to do it, they will do it. Because if you just move with motivation alone, sadly, I'll tell you right now, if you never heard of this, motivation will disappear. We all know about this. Motivation will disappear. When something wrong goes, when something bad happens to you, the motivation will disappear. As I said with the story about Tommy Shelby and with Curly about Tommy digging out the ground and the horse manure, he was not motivated at that point in time. He was probably in the deepest gutters of his life. However, because of the identity which he has, the mindset which he has, even at his lowest points when he doesn't feel motivated to do what he needs to do, he will still get it done. And that is exactly what it is about. It's about not trying to be just motivated. It is to be a successful person. When you shift your mindset into this type of person, you begin to act as if it were real. And you develop the characteristics to become said person. So when you put your mindset into the mindset of the said person who you dream of becoming, the successful person you dream of becoming, at that point in time, you become that person and you pick up their characteristics and you start to act as that person. I said in another video, it is not fake it till you make it. It is do it until you become it. So you pick up the positive habits of the person you dream of becoming, you continue to do the things like this person would do it, and then you become this person. That person is not going to bed late. That person is not going to the club. That person is not drinking. They are waking up early, going to the gym, going to work, working on their business. They're doing all of these positive things. So guess what? When you shift your mindset and your identity into this person, you've become successful. But motivation will make you do that. And identity shift is what will make you do that. Motivation is the feeling of potential success. And identity shift is the reason for success. And when I wrote this, bro, I was like, yeah, I was cooking. But yeah, motivation is that emotion. It is the feeling that, okay, I can become successful. It's that hunger. You get given that, like, the energy boost. It's like drinking an energy drink. You get that energy boost for you to just say, okay, then I can actually achieve this. So you're like, okay, now I can do it. Now I can do it. Now I can do it. So you try to do it. But when you shift your identity, that is how you become successful. When you say, okay, then I'm no longer just trying to be a motivated person. I'm no longer just trying to become that person. No, you are that person. So you're going to do things as if you was already that person. There's a story about a young golfer. And the young golfer pretended in his mind that every single time he took a shot, he had the media and the crowds around him with their cameras on him. And the reason why he done this is because when it was time for the real thing, his precision was better than everybody else's. Because he performs always under pressure in his mind. 24/7 he's under pressure. So guess what happened? He got used to being under pressure. So since he got used to being under pressure, the pressure doesn't get worse. The pressure does not get to him because he kept on doing it. He stayed underneath the pressure for as long as possible. So now he's used to it. So that person doesn't rely on motivation alone. He doesn't wake up in the morning saying, okay, I'm excited to go win the trophy today. No. What he does is he says, it's another day in the office. I've done this 1,000 times. Let me go and do what I know how to do. And he wins. So he shifted his identity into the person he wanted to become. He wanted to become that person. So because he put his identity into that person, these regular things can't hold him back. Motivation can't hold him back. Because if you can only operate on motivation alone, then you are capping yourself. Because you can only do so much when you're unmotivated. So, as long as in your soul and mind, you truly are, or can at least become the person you dream of becoming, it is a foregone conclusion that you will achieve your desire. So as long as in your mind, as long as in your soul, you truly believe, yes, I can become this person, and you actually believe that, yes, I can actually do this, it is already a foregone conclusion. All you have to do is do the work, have the heart to never give up, be patient, and your time will come. So motivation isn't the key to success. It is an identity shift. When you say, I am this person, bang, you become that person. Now you do it until you become that person, and you never give it up. So myth number 4, success equals happiness. So success can indefinitely bring forms of happiness such as satisfaction. However, happiness is not bound by success alone. Sometimes the journey towards success is greater than the achievements, and that will provide you with more happiness than shiny medals. Happiness can be felt no matter what circumstances you are in life. It is whether you can find it or not. True happiness is hidden within the realms of peace. So the reason why I say this is because, for example, me and my friends, we had our times when we were dabbling in crypto. And at a point in time, we lost money, and we lost a lot of money. And the thing about this is that even though we lost that money, we experienced true happiness. We weren't rich, we didn't have all the money in the world, but we still experienced true happiness. Because at that point in time, we were laughing on our phone every single day, laughing about the fact we lost money. And that is happiness. Happiness is not bound by success. Satisfaction, sure, but happiness, no. Because when you can be happy throughout the whole journey. Even the thought about it sometimes brings you happiness. What the myth is that, sadly, so many people believe that they can only be happy once they become successful. So every single moment up towards then, they cap themselves from happiness. Even, for example, me sitting here, like saying I'm going to go watch Peaky Blinders. There's a level of happiness which I get from that. So happiness is not bound till then. I know a lot of people say, nah, no fun days until I'm rich. Well, you're going to be holding yourself back to the point where you become rich, you now say, what's the point of having fun? You don't even have to have fun anymore. And when you try and have fun, you've already cut off the half of the world for that fun. So the whole point is that, sure, yes, success equals happiness, sure, no, but it's not bound to it. So you can become successful, but it doesn't mean only then is when you achieve happiness. Enough people become quote unquote successful and they don't achieve happiness, because happiness is not about your financial state, it's not about your success, it's about peace. And that's why I've said true happiness is hidden within the realms of peace. When you become peaceful, that is when you experience true happiness, because happiness is bound to you by emotions and things that are going your way, positive things. But peace is, no matter what situation you are in, you are still peaceful. And happiness and peace, they look like the same thing, but everybody gets them mixed up. Everybody wants happiness when what they truly want is peace. So don't be chasing after happiness. What you should be striving towards is peace. Peace is what will bring you the emotion that you're looking for. So these 4 things, end of the slideshow, these 4 myths were crucial to debunk. Thank you for watching towards this side of the video, towards the end of this video. Sorry, it's too hot. But make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be dropping more videos. If you're interested in joining the Gold Echelon, the link is in the description. Peace.